Hello everyone, happy Halloween. My name's Cliff and welcome to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome for the first time. And tonight, we're going to celebrate Halloween by doing a wrap up of all the books I read in October. And we're going to give it a little bit of flair with some snacks and a drink prepared by my wife. Don't know what to call it, but we're going to have some fun. Stay tuned. Okay everyone, welcome. While I take a sip from the super slimy, scary, ghostly, don't know, too scary, but got eyeball drink thing. And happy Halloween. So let me try this out. I think I need a spoon. But anyway, happy Halloween. I love the eyeball. Maybe that's for afters. But anyway, in order to welcome you, I thought I'd read a little bit. Just a little bit to start off. Because I've discovered what is probably my favorite Halloween themed book ever, just now. And that is Ray Bradbury, The Halloween Tree. And for me, it is now essential to read this book every Halloween. Let me just read a tiny bit for you. And from somewhere, 2 voices, 3 or maybe 4 voices, whispered and chanted a kind of sing-song or old sea shanty of the sky and time and the earth turning over into sleep. The rain spouts blew spider dust. It's big, it's broad. A voice smoked from the rooftop chimney. It's big, it's broad, it's bright. It fills the sky of All Hallows night. From open windows somewhere, cobwebs, dust drifted. The strangest sight you've ever seen, the monster tree on Halloween. The candles flickered and flared. The wind crooned in, the wind crooned out. The pumpkin mouths tuning the song. The leaves have burned to golden red. The grass is brown, the old year dead. But hang the harvest high, oh see, the candle constellations on the Halloween tree. Tom felt his mouth stir like a mouse wanting to sing. The stars they turn, the candles burn, and the mouse leaves scurry on the cold wind borne. And a mob of smiles shine down on me from the gourds hung high on the Halloween tree. The smile of the witch, and the smile of the cat, the smile of the beast, the smile of the bat, the smile of the reaper taking his fee. All cut and glimmer on the Halloween tree. This book, I finished it today. It's absolutely phenomenal. 5 stars, as most of Ray Bradbury is. And it's just beautiful, gorgeous, haunting prose. And it's a story of 8 best friends. Friendship is a huge, strong thing in this book. And they go on a journey through time and space with this strange creature who's kind of their guide. And his name is Carapace, clavicle, mound shroud. Kind of a little bit of what he is in the name. And they go through time and space to discover the true meaning of Halloween. But what they really want to do is rescue their best friend who has been captured by something, who's been taken by something. And this is a beautiful book. And don't worry, it's not all in kind of poetry verse, but the language is so special. I just love Ray Bradbury and his writing. And this is a book I'm going to read every Halloween. I've promised myself. So that is The Halloween Tree. Man, I should take another sip of the eyeball drink, or maybe just eat the eyeball and get it over with. Okay everyone, I've also got a nice platter of ghostly, spooky snacks here, and some of them I'll show to you. I'm not going to show the whole lot. I'll show you them up there, or up there. Hopefully she's taken a photograph. So I've been kind of spoilt. And just bear in mind that we don't have pumpkins in this part of the world. In fact, in South Africa you have to actually import pumpkins. So yeah, we make do with things like peaches and oranges and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's fun. And this video, I don't want it to be too long, because I've broken a record of how many books I've read in a month. I've read 15 books this month, which is insane. And we're not going to tell anyone that most of those books were kind of novellas, one or two short stories, kind of middle grade. Forget it. I read 15 books and I'm proud of myself. I'm happy. And I'm going to go through them in no particular order, except for the first one, which was my least favorite book. Okay, we're going to start off with Halloween Fiend by C.V. Hunt. I gave this 2.5, rounded up to 3 stars. It wasn't a bad book. It had some creepy, spooky moments. I loved the setting. I loved the premise that this creature called Halloween in a small town, and he's haunting the town, and every night they have to get inside their houses before sunset, and they have to leave a small living creature outside the door as a treat for the creature. Otherwise they're gonna get a nasty trick played on them. Not pleasant at all. I mean, yeah, it's a great premise, and be warned for animal violence. Yeah, because it treats kind of cats and hamsters, stuff like that. But I didn't gel with it. Part of the story dragged, and I found the characters incredibly irritating and took me out of the story. Even the main character, yeah, he was just a slob. He wasn't I just didn't enjoy him at all. And in addition, the ending was kind of anticlimactic. I deserved more. I wanted more. Yeah, and just, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but it just didn't do it for me. And there were moments, it was this festival, because every year they have a festival, in addition to this nightly trick-or-treating, which was pretty cool, but the story did not work for me. And I think it's mainly because the characters were kind of crap, in my opinion. Okay, next up we have Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and more Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I managed to read both of them. It's middle grade and it's a very quick read. And yeah, the stories themselves, in themselves, they're kind of creepy, kind of scary, particularly if you're a younger reader, but I enjoyed them. But what really made them come alive is the illustrations. And if you look up here, I showed it in another video, because I did Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark Part 1. There are some freaking creepy illustrations that go with these stories. They're pretty damn terrifying, if you ask me. And that made it for me. I just loved it, because kind of, yeah, made the stories, which are only like 1 or 2, 3 pages long. That's a quick read, but the illustrations, just wonderful. Okay, next up we have Ancient Sorceries from Algernon Blackwood, one of my favourite classic authors. He wrote The Willows and Wendigo, which I absolutely adore, and they're both 5 stars for me from last year. And this was a great story. It kind of reminded me of H.P. Lovecraft's The Shadow over Innsmouth, kind of a similar narrative, where you find this protagonist. In this case, this character finds himself in a small town where something's wrong, something's just off. And the people in the town are kind of behaving kind of like cats, and they're always watching him. There's something just different. And yeah, from the title you can tell it's about witchcraft, magic. So it's not as dark as Lovecraft's story, but I really enjoyed it. And in fact, for some of these I've done a review already. So I'm going to post that at the end. But yeah, nothing wrong with just revisiting. So I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. That's Ancient Sorceries. Okay, next up we have Psychic Teenage Bloodbath by Carl John Lee. Now people, this is a lot. This is a lot. It's an extreme horror revenge tale, and there's blood and guts and just pretty much every trigger you can think of. Like, I can't remember, animal violence, infant, maybe yes. Just understand that you go into this at your own risk. It's graphic, but it was fun. Kind of read like a movie. And at the start of the story, it's kind of these 2 girls, and they love each other, and they're at a school where there's a lot of prejudice, and they go to this town, they go to the prom, and there's an accident, but it's not really an accident. And at the beginning it almost feels YA, teenage lovers, and they go there, and there's an accident caused by some bullies, a gang of bullies. And this girl ends up in a coma in hospital. She falls. And then you flip forward 1 year later, and this girl has developed these terrifying powers, psychic powers. And and the bloodbath begins, because she wants revenge on the people that have done this to her. And it doesn't stop there. And it's to say there's a bloodbath. I'm not, like I said, every trigger, people, but I enjoyed it because it's fun, and I didn't find it as disturbing as other books I've read, like extreme novels, because it's kind of campy. It's fun, but just be warned. I highly recommend it if you can stomach it, because she just wants to rip people to shreds, and she does. That is Psychic Teenage Bloodbath. Okay, next up we have Autumn Crow from Cameron Chaney. Those of you on Booktube probably recognize the name, and he's got an amazing Booktube channel called Library Macabre. The awesome collection of books, and I really enjoyed this. It's an excellent collection, and although some people call it YA, I do believe it's deeper than that, and I do believe it's great for any age, particularly adults, and there's some very dark themes as well, kind of laced with comedy as well. And what I enjoyed about this story is that they're all kind of connected in some way with this valley called Autumn Crow, and some were better than others, I have to admit, but some really shone out brightly, and I really enjoyed them. And there's a couple that I just want to mention, and that is Crypt TV, which was hilarious. And without giving spoilers away, it's about this family who move away from Autumn Crow because there are too many disappearances and it's too weird, too many things happening. But the son, the kid of the family, misses Halloween. It's his whole life. He misses Autumn Crow. And I'm not going to say more than that, because short stories you need to discover for yourself. But this book is dark. The story is dark, but it is a kind of black humor, which I loved. Crypt TV. And the second one that I really enjoyed was Saving Face. And all I'm going to say about it is that it's probably the goriest and darkest and most messed up. But at the same time, he brings humor into it as well, which is just brilliant. So I really enjoyed this collection. Excellent Halloween reading, and I'll probably pick it up again maybe next Halloween. So that is Autumn Crow by Cameron Chaney. Okay, next up we have Dark Celebrations by Calvin Demmer. That's the second collection that I read this month, because I felt I could fit it in. Didn't put it on my TBR because it's just so brilliant, and I actually enjoyed it more than the first, which I'm going to talk about next. But it's very dark stories set around different holidays around the world, but also just and then kind of a monster interferes with the holiday, or something interferes with the holiday, and it's brilliant. yeah, I wasn't crazy about the first story, which was about a Chinese holiday involving ghosts. And perhaps it's because I did not see myself, something that I did not identify with. More than the storytelling, it's just something I kind of glazed over. Ghosts, China. But it was still very well told. And then it just got better. And, you got kind of monsters, werewolves, all sorts of stuff happening. It's so much fun. But two standouts for me were Three Dead Men. And now I'm going to pick up my first treat. Because there were mummies involved. And this is a meaty mummy, which I'm going to eat after the video. See the blood? See the mummy? Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. And the other one, I've got a soft spot for zombies. I've also got a soft spot for Japanese, kind of samurai films. And that was called Spring Outbreak. Spring Outbreak, very clever. So those are probably my two favorites, but I have to say that probably 7 or 8 out of the 10 I absolutely enjoyed. So it was difficult picking favorites. He does have a habit of drawing you in, sucking you in. It's kind of straightforward writing, very well edited, but kind of, you got the writing straightforward, and he brings in descriptions, kind of to add to what he's saying, and he draws you in. And sometimes he does better than others, other times, but yeah, this was a great collection. Very original. That's the thing about him as well that I love. He is so creative in the setup to the stories and the monsters, and yeah, kind of addictive. So give him a chance, Calvin Demmer. And then we have Her Heart Beats for Ancient Beasts, also by Calvin Demmer. And yeah, I absolutely love this collection as well. And I know I said that I preferred the one over the other. It's kind of difficult, but give them a chance. Yeah, my two favorite from this were the African stories in particular, being South African. Another Warrior in Paradise, just blew my mind. My wife loved it as well. And then Forbidden Fruit, a tale about poaching. If you want to know more, I'm going to actually link my reading that I did, the reading update that I did earlier this month. I'll link it at the end because I kind of reviewed 4 or 5 books from this list, and then check it out. But yeah, that is Her Heart Beats for Ancient Beasts. Okay everyone, and because I was talking about Africa, my wife made me a little snake. Yeah. Hiss. Just don't let it bite you. Okay, the next book is Rotten Tommy by David Sodergren. And I had a chat with Angel from Angel Can't Read on her channel about this book. It was a buddy read, kind of because she started a readathon. And check that out, because it was a wonderful chat. We really talked about this book in depth. And I'm going to try and keep it really simple. It's about this autistic heroine, and she's awesome. This character's awesome. The author's autistic as well, so there's different kinds of autism. So that's not the focus. But it's important to know about her and her place in the world, and how she reacts to the world and people around her. And yeah, she finds these videotapes, kind of hidden videotapes in a wall, and they hold a clue to her missing mother. But when you watch these videotapes, it's about this kiddie show that's gone completely wrong, and you also summon this monster called Rotten Tommy. And yeah, he's kind of an arsehole, kills everyone in terrible, terrible ways. Doesn't say anything. A little bit like Jason on steroids. He's like, yeah, he's no one can stop him. Is he an arsehole? Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, yeah, she has to try and find the location of the show, the kiddie show. And I'm not going to go more into the plot, because just check out her channel and check out the video. It's a lot of fun. kind of reads like a movie. I've said that before, but it does. And it's gory, but it's got heart, it's got emotion, it's got humour, and it's kind of fast paced, even though sometimes you feel like you're in a fever dream reading about this crap. And yeah, there's weird characters, there's some crazy kills, graphic, check your trigger warnings, kind of borderline, kind of extreme horror, splatterpunk. So check your trigger warnings. But it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this book. So yeah, that's Rotten Tommy. Okay, the 10th book I read is Of Foster Homes and Flies by Chad Lutzke. Now people, this is fast becoming one of my favourite authors. And yeah, just tells emotional coming of age stories so well. That's about this boy. He's like 12 years old. And his alcoholic, abusive mother. And the only thing on his mind is a spelling bee. He loves reading, he loves language, and he's practicing. He reads a dictionary to prepare for the spelling bee. Because he wants to win a prize, just like his dad. He's no longer with him. He used to win prizes, so the most important thing in his life. One morning, he goes downstairs, and there's his mom. And his mom is dead, and she's sitting in front of the TV. Yeah, passed out as she usually is, after drinking a bottle of hard liquor every night, beating him, kicking the dog. So he's not really that sorry, although he feels guilt because he should be. Yeah, and he decides that he's not going to phone the authorities just yet, because he's got a spelling bee in 4 or 5 days time, and he wants to go there. And it's midsummer heat. So yeah, covers her up, eventually covers her up in plastic or whatever, and he tries to ride it out in the summer. But it's about a lot more than that. It's just beautiful, and the characters you care about and you feel, and people he meets, and his friend, and this other person he meets, and it's just such a warm human tale. And yeah, you're kind of rooting for him. But yeah, it is dark as well. But that is Of Foster Homes and Flies. Really enjoyed it. Okay, next up we got Salems Lot by Stephen King. This is another book I reviewed. And we had a live chat with Greg on another bibliophile reads. I'll link his channel below. But yeah, this is classic King. Classic vampire tale. Almost essential. And not your sparkly vampires. These are not vampires. But yeah, it's the whole setting. The town of Salems Lot. The people, the characters. First half of the book, it's a slow burn. You learn about the characters. Even the kind of sub-characters, what do you call them? The secondary characters. You learn about them because they become important. All of them. The whole town becomes important. Because later on, when the shit hits a fan, it really hits a fan. And when the action starts, you just can't put the book down. It's thrilling, horrifying, some of the scariest scenes that I've ever read in any book, ever. Yeah, so prepare to be scared. And that is Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Okay, next up we got Clowns vs. Spiders by Jeff Strand. And this is part of Crits and myself. It's our group, our book club called Fright Club. And yeah, this was our first monthly pick. So it's the first book we've ever done. It was about clowns and carnivals, so clowns versus spiders. And we had a live chat, and it went down really well. Lots of guests, lots of people watching, but a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm going to link that. And I'm also going to link the Discord down below. So perhaps if you feel like joining us, we got the Night Parade by Ronald Malfi in November, because we're talking about post-apocalyptic horror. Maybe just pop in and join us, see how you feel. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, clowns versus spiders. What happens when you get some friendly clowns that lose their job and have to become scary clowns? I'm doing the fast forward version because I want you to see. I want you to go and watch the other video. So you got friendly clowns that are forced to become scary clowns. because clowns are not scared, not friendly anymore. And then there's a invasion of these giant spiders the size of your head. Are the clowns going to prevail? Are they going to survive? Epic story about an epic battle between clowns and spiders. Never mind Lord of the Rings. This is just on another level. And yeah, maybe not. But it was a lot of fun. And I love the blend of horror and humour. I actually gave it 5 stars. Because I tell myself with these books, if I'm prepared to read it again, which I am, I'd love to read the story again. Because Jeff Strand has a sense of humour, and he blends it with horror, so at the same time as you are screaming in terror, you also kind of what did that clown just say? So anyway, yeah, I really loved the book. That's Clowns versus Spiders. Okay, next up we have Change of Pace. We have The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. Also a lot better than Dolly, which I read, which I gave 2 stars. Just so atmospheric. And it's about this junior solicitor, and he travels to this kind of a town way far away from London, out in the moors, out in the English countryside, because he's got to settle the estate. He's got to attend the funeral, settle the estate of this woman who's died, that lives in, what's the name of the place? Eel Marsh. Just the name itself is like kind of creepy. And yeah, this place has secrets, tragic and terrifying secrets. And I ended up really enjoying this. It's a ghost story, it's a gothic ghost story. That's deeply atmospheric. Just a journey there, and everything really drew me in. And I've got to say, the ending, wow, I really was surprised by that. Kind of nasty, but really good. So yeah, I gave this 4 stars. I can see myself reading more from her, but I think this is probably her most famous one, her best. And I want to watch the movie now as well, because my wife loved it. So yeah, that is A Woman in Black. Okay, finally we have Every Dead Thing by John Connolly. Yeah, and I've reviewed this already. It's about a former detective. His wife and child, young girl, brutally murdered. And he's haunted. He's haunted by them. And he's basically on the trail of a serial killer who's responsible for the deaths of his family. And yeah, this is a very, very dark story. And I had kind of read it when I was much younger, but I enjoyed it a lot more this time. My only criticism was that some of the characters, and so many characters, so much detail, so many subplots, that you kind of get lost and you have to kind of focus on where you're going. But it's still worth it. It's very dark, beautiful storytelling, but the subject matters. Yeah, it's more a crime, but I would still check trigger warnings. There's one in particular, child trafficking, and a lot worse than that. But yeah, it just gets kind of messed up, this book. But I enjoyed it. And I love his other books, so I'm going to continue the series eventually. That is Every Dead Thing. Okay everyone, so that's me for tonight. I just want to wish everyone, yeah, a happy All Hallows Eve. I think it's Sunheim, hope I'm not wrong. Halloween, whatever you celebrate, Day of the Dead, whatever you celebrate around the world. Just, yeah, have a spooky time and enjoy it. And take care of yourselves and keep those pages turning. Until next time, cheers.